Hey, guess what? It's Tuesday. Largely informal vlog today because my video editing software has it's done. I have to go find and install and purchase and all that good stuff. A new one, because as soon as I open the program, it crashes. I tried opening an older video, which had downloaded, uploaded fine. It too crashed, so I'm thinking, I'm done. It's not a great program. It has outlived its usefulness, so I gotta find something new. Now, that being said, I haven't really had time, because of this, to put a video together today, because all the video footage I had assembled is not working at all. So, largely informal vlog today. Last week was going to be a part 2 of how to build the LARP character thing I'd been working on, and unfortunately, I got distracted with the project I was working on, so I only got so far on that. What I was going to talk to you guys about a little bit was... that could have been a mess. Was going to be how to build your LARP character using skill sets and stuff like that. So there's a couple different approaches to this, and this is one that I have a harder time with personally because I'm not mathematically savvy. It's not a strong suit of mine. It's not something I usually work well with. So when you're building your LARP character stats, you want to keep in mind a couple different things. First thing, and it depends largely on what your play style is, or how you play, and different philosophies you have on that. One of the things I like to do when I'm building my character stat-wise is I try to find stats that will complement my strengths while making up for a couple of my personal weaknesses. Because LARP is done with physical interactions, physical actions, all that good stuff, you have to rely more on your abilities as a player to play the game well in a more statistically based thing. Words. I'm working completely off script today, so this is going to be just awesome. So, because you have to work around a lot of your personal shortcomings, at least I do, because I do have some. I am an inherently decent fighter from extensive practice and all that good stuff, but I am a little bit slow on reaction time sometimes. If something is thrown at me, I have a bit of a hard time reacting because my brain takes too long to process information. So when I'm building my character, I usually try to pick up a couple, not too many, of defensive skills, that will help offset the fact that my brain takes a moment to register that things are happening. Now, this is useful only in a open skill set based rule set. Okay, I'm looking at the right hole. I think there's a couple of different lenses. Because the LARP I play at has an open based skill set, I am able to I just lost the words there. Pick and choose my skills based on what I need. If you're playing with a more closed rule set, or something that has like certain character classes, and those character classes have either certain archetypes or just a set of skills to work with, you're going to have to go more for your skills based on what sort of character you're trying to play. Now, most of those rule sets that I'm familiar with have some degree of choice, so you can kind of pick and choose certain skills based on what you want to optimize in. And another way that you can go about that, instead of just choosing to minimize your personal weaknesses or optimize your strengths, is to pick skills based on what your character would reasonably have. And again, most of my experience with this is based on an open rule set LARP system, so a little bit different. Pay no mind to the madness going on back here. All this madness back here, by the way, all of this, that's Sarah's fault. You hear that, Sarah? That's your fault. This basement's a mess because of you. And I'm calling you out on that on the internet so you can deal with it. I'm gonna move over here, actually, just because it's distracting me now. So, picking skills based on what your character reasonably have, this is more of a role player mentality sort of thing, right? You may pick up skills to help you in combat and all that good stuff, but you're also going to pick up a lot of unusual skills and a lot of unusual abilities that you might not need per se, but at the same time, it makes sense that your character would have them. In Dungeons and Dragons, for example, when I'm playing games like that, I'll often pick up feats that don't really serve my character any real benefit, but I feel like kind of help complement what the character's personality is. Example, one time I was playing a going back a little bit in my mental catalog of character skills, I was playing a character who was a sort of Roma sort of character. And if you're not familiar with that is, try Googling it. It's the politically correct way of saying what is horrifically politically incorrect, which is gypsy. Learned something new today. And my character picked up skills in perform wind instrument as well as perform dance. Because in her backstory, she was required by her caravan to help with those performances to bring in clientele so that they could get some income that way and they could afford to live and all that good stuff. Those skills aren't going to serve my character any benefit in the game at all. I mean, I've tried to implement it and there's just no help there, really. It's just not useful. And the feat I picked up was skill focus in wind instrument because she was really focused on perfecting her ability with the flute as being a flautist. You don't need to pick that skill up to make the game any easier. Frankly, picking up that feat was actually a waste of a good feat when you consider the optimization of it, because the character is a sorcerer class. So, you know, lots of usefulness there. Not at all. And that's another mentality you can approach to building your skill set. Again, that is dependent on a certain degree of creativity and freedom you are allowed to have with picking your skills. The final option that I'm aware of anyway is just straight min-maxing. You know, you want to pick the best bang for your buck for skills. You want to make sure you're building characters that have the greatest use of their skills for what you have to work with in the rule set, and that requires a very intimate understanding of how A, math works, and not this guy. No math for me, if I can help it. Or B, being able to optimize what skills you're able to purchase, again, based on your personal strengths and weaknesses as a player. And that one starts getting a little bit more weird, and to go into that in more detail, I'd have to actually sit down with a proper script and explain it all there. So you can expect a part 2 to this video. That's just kind of a quick overview on skill purchasing. The next video I do, which is a part 2 to this one, will be a lot more formal with some better examples to elaborate on certain things so you kind of know what I'm talking about, because some of this probably isn't that clear. I'm just trying to get something out here so you guys don't think I'm completely ignoring you. Only mostly ignoring you. I was, as you can see, kind of playing, getting back into the retro world, so that's just what I do when I'm supposed to be working. I get distracted with other stuff. Jokes. So I'm going to have to spend some time getting a new video editing program. Hopefully, I'll be able to get that all ready for next week. I'll try to do another video. I have a suspicion, if the video editing software hunt goes well, I should be able to do that long-awaited by Sarah of the theory on what Snow Peak Ruins is all about, because I'll have some days coming up in the next little while that I actually can sit down and do some research on that. And if you're not getting that next week, Tuesday, you're going to get the part 2 to this video, which I'm promising you in shaky camera because my arm's not very steady. There's also a bell on the bottom of this phone, so it's really jingly when I shake it. At any rate, be sure to check in on Tuesdays when I am supposed to upload. And again, I'm sorry guys for keeping a very bad schedule. It is a work in